Hi, I'm Ben Weaver, Illinois attorney. I help people buy and sell houses, and I help them with wills, trusts, and other estate planning documents. And today, we're here to talk about page 8 of the Illinois Multi-Board Residential Real Estate Contract 8.0. Page 8 of the 8.0 contract. It must be fate. Let's get started. So, there are 3 paragraphs on page 8. The first paragraph, paragraph 21, PLAT of survey. The seller agrees in paragraph 21 to provide a survey to the buyer before closing. The survey has to be a professional survey, and it has to have the corners staked. So the survey is very important because the title company, the buyer, everyone has to review it to make sure that they know exactly what is being sold. The last thing you want to do is think you're buying a house that includes a garage, and then you get the survey and you realize the garage is on another lot that isn't for sale, and all of a sudden you're not getting what you thought you were paying for. So the survey is a very important aspect of the closing. And in paragraph 21, the seller agrees to provide it to the buyer. Paragraph 22, damage to the property prior to the sale. This is an important one because what happens, it's a week before closing and there's a horrible storm and a tree falls on the house. Who is responsible for paying for that damage? Is it going to delay closing? Well, paragraph 22 says that the seller, obviously it's still the seller's house, they're still responsible for any damage that happens to the house before closing. They're responsible for filing the insurance claim and cleaning up the mess, whatever happens before closing. But what happens if there is a big issue like a tree falling on the house or a fire and it can't be restored prior to closing? Well, the seller is still responsible for filing that insurance claim, and then they're responsible for sending that money to the buyer as a credit at closing, and then it's the buyer's responsibility to address that issue. All of this is if the seller and buyer agree. If the house burns down a week before closing and the buyer says, forget it, I don't want to buy this house anymore, then that's grounds to cancel the contract and end of story. So, if something happens before closing, the seller is still responsible for maintaining the house. Bottom line. Paragraph 23 is condition of the real estate. So, before the closing, the buyer typically has a final walkthrough of the house. At this final walkthrough, the house should be empty. All personal property of the seller should be removed from the house, and the house should be left in broom clean condition. Now, broom clean is a very broad term. Broom clean is different. Some folks mean broom clean means a professional service cleaning company is going to go in and clean the house. Some people feel broom clean means they're just going to remove all this stuff, all their personal stuff, and leave the house vacant. Bottom line is that it's very difficult. A lot of buyers are upset about the condition of the house at closing. It comes with the territory because a lot of sellers don't realize what a huge endeavor it is to actually move out of a house until they're in the middle of it. By the time they are done, they just walk out that door and they say, forget it, I'm not going back in the house. As long as the house is somewhat in a tidy, respectable condition, it's broom clean condition, and it is what it is. All right, the last paragraph on page 8, seller's representations, paragraph 24. This is a big one because it's hidden way in the middle of this contract. Page 8, paragraph 24. This is where the seller says that they have no knowledge, they've received no notice of any sort of building violations, zoning issues, any condemnation issues, anything bad. They're basically saying that, nope, we do not know of any issues dealing with the house, with the property. Everything is fine and in saleable condition to the buyer, which is great for the buyer that the seller's making this representation. The problem on the seller's side is this paragraph is so hidden in the contract, most sellers have no idea that they are agreeing to these terms. So if they really do know of a building or a violation, some sort of zoning issue, they're unaware that they're agreeing to it. Maybe if they knew about it, maybe they would disclose it, but they're unaware that they need to disclose it. So basically, the seller in paragraph 24 is saying that they are unaware of any building violations, zoning issues, etc., etc. So, there you have it, page 8 of the Illinois Residential Real Estate Multi-Board Contract 8.0. 4 very important paragraphs. If you enjoyed this, I have a video about every page in this contract, so check them out, and I hope you learned something. I'm Ben Weaver, Illinois attorney, and I'm here to help you with your buy or sell of your next house.